Oh my goodness, I am so dumb. Alright, sorry guys. So I'll start over again. Pretty much, we'll go step by step on what's going in through it. Since I messed up at the start, I'll edit the video so it fit the narrative. Alright, so what we're using is the B450 Pro Wi-Fi. It's one of my favorite boards. I use it in my own personal rig. Oh no. I quite enjoy it. It's a very nice board. In the future, if he ever wants me to upgrade it or something like that, it's very much easily to be upgraded with the NVMe drives, which this one can only do the SATA speed because it's only the 3.0. If he goes with the B550, then I can possibly do the SATA, non-SATA, and do the NVMe at the PCIe Gen 4. But let's go ahead and get started with the simple stuff. Again, we're going to go pretty quick into it because I don't like taking a lot of time, but I'll explain to you what we're doing and how we're doing it. Again, we're using the 3600 XT. It's pretty nice little overclocker. We had a little trouble. The first one didn't come in, so what we're going to do, let's put this down right here for a second. There's a little lever right here that you pull up. Once you pull it up, you take your CPU. It's kind of hard to see it, but there's writing. It says Ryzen on it. If you take the Ryzen and face it toward the back of the motherboard as the top is facing the front side, you'll never miss it. And all you do is push that lever back down until it locks down. As you see, fully locked. Alright, next step, I'm going to be putting in the RAM. Alright, so again, we're using the T-Force. It's RGB, 3200 megs. I'm thinking, no, 3100 megahertz. But I'll probably overclock it to about 3200. It's really nice RAM. For this, you want to put it in DIMM 1 or DIMM 2 and DIMM 4 slots, meaning hold on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you're running single channel, you'll just put it in the first one. But since we're running dual channel, there's 4 slots. 1, 2, where this one is, 3 behind it, and the 4th is the one that we're going to be put it in. Peter, your wife is going to love this PC. I've already done all the hardware once in it. It looks extremely good, man. Alright, so we're done with the motherboard for now, okay? We're going to be putting that away, and we'll show you the rest of it, what we're doing. It's going to, like I said, it's going to move pretty quick. I typically take 30 minutes to do an average build, so hopefully it's not that long for this one. Alright, just give me a few seconds. Alright, and we're back. Sorry the green screen's not working, guys. There's something up with it. Again, we're going to go ahead and put our cable sleeves. You can pick these up on Amazon. There's a wide variety of colors. They range from $22 upwards to $70, $80. Leanne Lee makes an RGB version where the whole entire thing is RGB. So it's really cool. But we're going to be using standard pink because that's our favorite color, and that's what she's going to get. Hey, how you doing today? I hope you enjoy this PC build. I really do. Let's see. What's next? What's next? Alright, by the way, Peter, we did get the Wi-Fi, so we're good on that end. Alright, so we got the screws, SATA, that. And Peter, if you didn't see when it first started, this is the one that we upgraded to. Extremely nice. Extremely nice. My son said you're welcome, by the way. Alright. And here's the card. If anybody wanted to see. Once it's in the case, it's actually a lot nicer looking. It does have RGB right here. But that's it. Sorry. That's all we got. Alright. Next, we got her case. And let's not forget the power supply. So we have the power supply right here. And I'm about to disappear because this case is huge. Plenty upgrade room for this. Beautiful, beautiful case. Already has RGB pre-installed. So we're going to go ahead and take the back glass off. It does have a smoke gray to it. I think the smoke gray was a good choice. Only because it's easier to keep clean. And with the RGBs in it, it makes it look way cleaner. Now, we didn't get the RGB strips in yet, but I will install those as soon as I get it, okay? I gotta be careful with this. And then, good glass.
Oh my God, no. My camera better not be that bad.
No, it's not. It's sitting over there. I was going to film on a better camera. Sorry, guys. My something happened and I couldn't get the software to run again, and we'll get it running shortly. I just gotta get everything squared away. Normally I don't do it, but I'm going to go ahead and put the power supply in first. That way I can get everything sized up where it goes. And she has a huge gateway on accessibilities and all that fun stuff for new things. Alright, so first of all we need to figure out where I put my bolts. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta find my bolt box. Got me a little tool chest for all my extra tools and stuff. Oh.
You're all up in that camera.
I know. Wife's making fun of my gut, guys.
Nor did I. I said you're all up in that camera.
She's making fun of my gut. I got a big old belly. That's from all that good cooking I cook for myself. My wife, Lord of mercy, she don't cook very often. Alright, let me get everything lined up. Open up a pack of screws. And that's why I like having a box. This build is right around, we got a lot of good deals. It's normally about $1,100 to $1,200 build. But he got a huge amount of discounts thanks to the Amazon Day and the fantastic deals on Newegg. But if we would have paid full price, it would have been around $1,200. Alright. Where is my... And if anybody wants to know the tools I use iFixit. iFixit is the #1 brand for PC repairs. Right now, all I'm doing is placing the screws in for the power supply. Make sure everything gets lined up. Wife has a spoiled rotten dog on her lap. Hey guys, I'm going bald. Going bald, man. Enjoy it if you have hair. I know Peter don't. He already is bald. He shaves his head though. And normally I don't suggest doing some of these things like I do, like skips and steps and all that fun things, but I've been building them for so long now it's become second nature to me. Now I'm going to tell you this, Peter, this one has some weird wiring in it that really confused me at first until I read the read the book. Like, for instance, it has an LED remote switch for each one of the RGB fans, which blew my mind, dude. Like, absolutely blew me. Like, I've never seen that ever in a PC build. And I probably end up having to flip the fans. I'm not sure yet, though. It is a very nice case. Like, I was highly impressed with the case when I first seen it. So, alright, next step. Alright, so we're going to allocate what we need, where we need it, and how we need it. So, we're going to need the big cable. We're going to go ahead and run this over here and get it out of my way. Let's see here. This is the main motherboard cable. That there. Need one Molex. Holy moly. Yeah. I still got, you know, I still got that going on. That's all that matters. A little scruff. Wife hates it.
Hey, you're not hooked to the thing.
Huh?
You're not hooked up to that cord.
Oh, I don't need to be.
Okay.
I already got the power supply every time I took something. Alright, and one SATA. So, let's see if we got everything sorted here. Molex, SATA. Alright. These two. Be tucked out of the way. There's only one thing I did disagree about this case. I like having full. I don't like it when it doesn't have the full cover right here. Like, I like it covered, but that's just a personal preference. But other than that, it's an extremely nice case. Alright, so next step, we're going to install the motherboard. So, this is the fun part. And this one, I was so happy. It already comes with the standoff, so it makes my life a lot easier. I ain't got to use a bunch of thumb screws. Sorry if I'm talking in the background because I'm way back here. All right. So. Pull a little bit of tape off. Take its back fan off if it doesn't slide in right. Promised myself I wouldn't say bad words, but I can't promise y'all that right now. Lord, forgive me. Alright, there we go. the hard part. So we don't damage nothing or any of that fun stuff. Looks like we may actually have to put some standoffs in. Alright. All I'm going to do is put 2 screws in for now. Only because I like to tuck the wires in behind the motherboard so it makes it look cleaner. And this is a very nice motherboard. Like I said, I use it personally myself. So. Why has that got me talking in the background again? I'm sorry, Peter. I'm not trying to be slow about it, man. Some parts I gotta remove, some parts I don't. Beautiful thing about this screwdriver, it extends so I can get those tough screws. And I'll do most of the wire management off screen. Do it topless? I think I'm good on that one, man. We don't want little kids to get scared and run away. I want them to be educated on PCs, not like, oh my goodness, what is that thing? It looks like a woolly bear. Alright, our next step is the cooler, which should have thermal paste already on it, but we'll show you. Peter, if you want her to have an RGB cooler sometime down the road, this is the easy part of it. It's pretty simple, and it does have its own thermal paste, so, and that's normally a good paste. It stays on it very well. Alright. Alright. Sitting back down. And if you want to know, I took off some brackets. These brackets are for different types of coolers, which we don't use. They're absolutely crap. But AIO coolers are really nice, Peter. But they can be expensive, like $60–70 for just a single fan. I know it sounds like I'm breaking it, but I'm really not. Alright. Now's the fun part. The wiring. Alright, so we'll go ahead and hook up this up to the CPU fan header inside. Since we already got that rocking and rolling and done, we don't need to worry about that no more. We'll have to figure out a way to keep it nice and tucked in. Normally have a flashlight, but I don't have my handy dandy flashlight today. Alright. So this is why I was saying I don't like putting cables in first or bolting this down all the way. Because we're going to have to put cable sleeves in. It makes my life a lot easier with doing it. Let's see. Alright, so we have that's getting edited. Just hit my head with my green screen. And that's the reason you buy those. What's your dog sneezing for? Give me 1 second, just gotta get this lined up perfectly. We'll do a lot of cable management once we're done here. Yeah. Get this to stay plugged in. You know, they say every PC builder has a blunder on their screens. Well, mine was my green screen. I should have, Tevin, but you know. Alright, so we got that one in. That is the CPU power. That's what gives us all that nice juicy power for the CPU. That is for the, those two are for the graphics card, and this one is for your main board. Don't you fall out. And again, like I said, I'll address anything that looks ugly before I even ship it, Peter. If something don't look right, I'll go back and redo it or whatnot. Got my click. Alright. That's the next set. Most of these wires are, believe it or not, are just to the alright, so we'll tuck half of this in. Like I said, I'm going to do all the cable management off screen, so. Or otherwise we'd be here for a couple hours, and I don't think even my wife wants to sit here for a couple hours.
No, I think so, man.
Hey, she's already wanting to go to bed, guys.
Some people do work for a living.
Excuse me? I didn't work for a living, dear?
I didn't say you didn't. You just say you don't now.
You're right, I don't. Alright. So next, I'm going to do the CPU. Well, let's go ahead and do these wires because this is going to take a second. And I got to see how to feed these up into it. Don't look like I can do a cheat sheet on this one. So, alright. So we have HD audio. So come around here. Let's put you over there for now. Have USB 3, USB 2.0. Alright. Now, Asus, I love them to death, but I like Gigabit just a little bit more due to the fact that they have these really unique sleeves. I gotta figure out where it went. Well, I'm scared myself. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, let me find my little box of trinkets. Let's see. I think I left it in the motherboard box. Nope, there it is. Alright. This comes with a really unique thing. So all these little itty bitty wires are your power switch, and your LED and reset switch. And there should be a reset switch right there. So all these will go in the same thing, which Gigabit so kindly provides you with this cool little trinket that makes it. What is up, Aunt? How you doing? Eating some pig's feet. Ooh, that sounds good. How'd you cook them? Uh-oh. My mic dropped. Dropped the mic, didn't even know I dropped the mic. Everybody, I used the snowball, by the way. I like it. It's cute. Oh, that's still good. What kind of spices you put on it? You know I'll be liking my spice. Sound good though. Big feet. You know what? Why am I doing this first? I gotta. Alright. Let me push this underneath. Get these ran up first. Like I said, please excuse the wiring mess once I'm done with the back. It'll all be addressed. Now you can't see me. Now you can. Hello! Alright, so power switch. Alright. LED power. Where are you at? Plus. Make sure to give me a like. I will do more of these on stream if everybody likes it. Yeah, I know I need to get better cameras, guys. It's without a doubt. Trust me, I understand. I need a better camera. But eventually I'll get to that point and get one. Alright. As I get this one clip in, we'll be good. Alright. So, as you see, it's hard to see it, but in here is that little box that has all those little bitty wires too. Thank you, Tevin. Thank you. And if you ain't subbed, I know most of you have subbed. Please sub. Share me out. Get me out there. I'll do a lot of Rocket League and all that other stuff too, but my life goal is to be a tech streamer, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. Hard to see this. And I will tug on these to pull them back to the back, so it's out of sight, out of mind kind of situation. And yes, Peter, this is going to smoke your PC build. Before I get everything buttoned up, I gotta make sure what kind of power this has got. Alright, so 1/8 pin. So only I'll need one of these. I'll send you all the extra parts with it, Peter, so that you can have them in case something gets broke or something needs to get replaced or whatnot. I gotta unplug this one. Maybe. Let me get this situated right here real quick. And I do got extra tie-ins too, Peter, so if more tie-ins needs to be done, I'll do those too. Alright, that's in. Let's see here. And if you have any questions on if you want to Yeah. I've probably already been the same route as you, but you know, it is what it is. As the mighty Tevin says, it is what it is. Alright, so now we'll come back here, pull all the access, backwards to make it look nice and clean, because that's the whole goal of a PC builder, is they put their own little spin on all their builds, and I like mine to be neat, because if they're not neat, then they're pointless. Alright, so our next step, y'all guessed it, it's gonna be, love this tool, it's gonna be the graphics card. We haven't missed a step yet, and we're doing good timing. My fastest time building a PC is less than 15 minutes. But that's with equipment that I've built with before, and so forth and so forth. And Peter, save these because you can reuse them. I don't know if you will ever need to, but just in case. Alright, you know what, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the SATA cables. It's kind of hard for me to read, I ain't got my glasses on, guys. Yeah, that's true. Tevin, you've been doing a hot, man. You got it going on your streams, dog. On a real note. All right. So first we got one SATA, which will go down here to the bottom. That's going to be for that. And yes, Peter, give you heads up, if you ever want to upgrade her memory to a faster memory, you can do a NVMe M.2, which it won't run as fast as it would on the newer generations. So that's the reason the SSD is still just as fast on 3.0 instead of that. Alright, so we've got these two wires. And I'll show you what I've done in the front real quick. Alright. So, y'all see that big mess in the back. I'll fix that up, don't worry about that. But what we've done so far is we got our ribbon cable up here. This is for the that's for the motherboard. Then you have your GPU, and then up there you see at the top you have your CPU. I put down here. You should see right there. You should see the M.2 bars, Peter. It should be right there. That's where you put your M.2s. So you are switching, Tevin? Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I think I'll have a better time streaming, to be honest with you, Tevin, because there's less restrictions and less finger pointing and name blaming and all that other fun stuff. Alright, our next step. This beautiful thing. Like again, I said, this is the Asus Tough Gaming. My son, unfortunately, his case was too small for it. It's brand new. Literally came in as a replacement for his older one because it was discontinued. I got Peter the Gigabit overclock edition, but this one is like, if you was considered in tiers, this would be third from the top, and the Asus Strix being the number one, and the Sapphire would be number 2. But this one is just on par with all the rest of them. It's already got the VBIOS flashed on it, so it's really nice. I really like it. Like I said, I've already tested all of it in your build, Peter. So, or I should say I tested all your build period before. Plugging up the power. Looks like I'm going to have to put more combs on this, Peter. So I don't like how it looks. Let me see if I got those combs. Second. I don't like how it looks. Absolutely disgusted how that looks. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this put together. Alright, so we gotta put that out of my way. These two go over here. So we should have a bolt right here. I want to put in for this to hold up the bracket. We'll put in 2 just to make sure it's steady and locked in there permanently. Peter, I will show you how to remove these in whatnot later. But all it is, Peter, is it's pretty simple. You take and you put it in that top PCIe slot, push it in. There you go. You plug up your power and you're done. Pretty simple. Man, I just don't like how that looks. Hurt my thumb too. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this last screw in here so we can get this rolling. We're almost there. We're only just a tad bit more away from getting it to go. Alright, all this does right here, Peter, this shield that I'm putting back on, all it does is it prevents you from losing your card or the card falling out. That's just your secondary measure. Otherwise, it's an aesthetic piece. Technically, if you take that out, you get better airflow. I don't have it on mine. Alright, let's tighten these down. And I'll make it as close as I could get it to the pinkish with the board, but I'm pretty sure with the fans, it's only going to be on RGB itself, so it's not going to be the most gorgeous, lavishing look that it can be. Alright, give me a second. I gotta get the other cable pieces. Like I said, these things are a lifesaver. Like, they send you so many of them when you get your new sleeves. I just collect them up from all of them I do. The next step will be on the back, is where we do the fans. And again, the fan configuration on this one is a little odd. Like, I've never dealt with Molex much before. I normally do with just fan headers. I had an extra fan header, Canon plug set up, but yours didn't need it. And again, I'll address most of these cable combs as I go, as much as possible, to get it to look the best I can. But you're right, Tevin, I should start streaming on Twitch, especially with my tech stuff, because there's not actually that many people that stream tech on it. It's mainly games and stuff, and it gives it a new perspective. Normally my mic sounds like crap, but I got the new mic. Alright, man. Later, man. Alright. We'll go ahead and get the rest of this. Oh, we've got one plug, guys. The HD audio. Of course, this is one of my most hated ones because I always miss it for some reason. But we need that, especially if she's going to stream with you, Peter. Next step is rebuilding my wife's gaming PC for her, because she misses playing the Forest with me. She's over there laying down, ready to go to bed. In, go ahead and pull that back. Like I said, all this is going to get zip tied and put away nice and neat, all that fun stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna pull these out of my way. Alright, so our next step is our two favorite parts. That is your memory. We have the wonderful SATA M.2. It's a WD 500. Plenty of space to keep your memory in your CP for your CP, such as your boot drive and all that. You really don't need it for anything else other than that. Normally, I don't suggest using it, but we do have a 2 terabyte Seagate. One of my favorites. Always use them all the way up to the 10 terabytes. All right. Couple of bolts floating around somewhere, but I think we'll find it. All right. And all I'm doing right now is we're mounting the M.2 or the the SSD. I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying M.2 because that's a preferred method of storage, but in reality it doesn't really matter if it's M.2 or not. Alright. Next step is taking this up under, and right now I'm just plugging up the SSD, trying to feel my way around with everything real quick and trying to get everything situated. Alright, so we're going to need one of these down there. Alright, SSD is plugged in. Alright, so we'll go ahead and plug in the SATA cord and the and there's a little cage in the bottom of this. All this does is slide right up and into it. If it is slide, come on, get in there. Why ain't you sliding in? I know I'll put this on right. Maybe I'll put it upside down. Yeah. I may have. I think I did. Alright. So I gotta switch something around real quick because it looks like I'm a big dummy and put it upside down or backwards. I'm not used to having these. I'm used to having a different version of the drive cage. But it's really effective. I actually like them. They're really nice. Universal to any cage too. I am using the 3600 XT in it currently. Yes, I know the new processors are coming out in January, but that's a long wait just for a meager gaming performance uplift. People's like, oh, you shouldn't say that. Well, until they provide numbers for those set things, I'm not going to believe anything they put into anything toward the media of these things. Intel is one thing. I love AMD. Great processors for streamers. I use the 3700X. Well, did. Right now I'm using the 3900X in mine. But I will be upgrading mine only because I need it for programming and all that fun stuff. Liking this drive tray, to be honest with you. Sir, I'm not. Click. Alright. We'll tuck that out of the way for now. Like I said, I will have this all wrapped up, Peter, and looking really clean by the time I ship it. Alright, so we need to hook up the PCIe lane plug. Don't you start that, you little sassy thing. In as well. Alright, so now this weird Molex configuration. This is what I was talking about, Peter. These are called Molexes. Normally they're not like this, but unfortunately this one is. Which there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know what I'm missing. Alright. 1 second. There it is. There's a clear one that goes right up here. It's for the power for the Molex. Again, it's very unique. So the chain, it's huge, man. It's huge. Alright. So, mind you, I ain't doing no cable management until I get everything fired up. Let me go over everything, take a look at it. Make sure I got everything situated over here and out of my way. Can't forget about this fella. It's the power cable. And I had a lot of extra bolts, so whatever bolts that I had from prior builds or my builds, I normally use those just as much as the ones that come with it because they're pretty universal. Alright, so we're going to power this up. Alright, man. I'll wait until you're back, Peter, before I do anything. Move some stuff around. All I'm doing is posting it to see if we get a post. People don't know what that means. And I am going to be putting an extra fan for exhaust on the top. Only because a lot of builds may say they don't need it. I like doing it because it gives you extra cooling. Peter, you just let me know when you're back before I turn it on so you can see it. See if you approve of it, man. Second. Alright, hold on 1 second, Peter. I gotta get a plug long enough. Or move it. I'll just move my camera around so you can see it. Hope everything turns on the first time. Sometimes it don't, sometimes it does. Alright, here we go, Peter. That's a good sign. Like I was saying before, Peter. Oh, look at that, dear. We have power, Peter. Huzzah, guys. That looks amazing. It's called, sorry, Peter. I don't know if you can hear me now. Alright, so what do you think, Peter? I know I got to do the cable management and stuff, but there she is. And like I said, I want to clean up the cables off screen because that's going to be a nuisance. I got to upload all the drivers and stuff for the new graphics card because it doesn't come with it. But what I was saying, Peter, I hope you can hear me. But on the front of it, is the power button, the reset button, and the LED button. So we can run pink like that all the way up and down it. I don't know, man. It's one of my better builds. I kind of like it. Alright, guys. I'll have everything buttoned up for you. I mean, this thing is amazing, dude. Like the motherboard, it actually has an RGB inside of it as well, so I'll adjust it so it's pink. The cables will be cleaned up. Everything. It seems like the fans are running good. I gotta adjust, I think, these front ones. No? That's it. But yeah, I mean, it's surprising to me. I've never actually used a Priva before. It's always been Dark Flash, Corsair, so forth. But it looks good. The graphics card is working, obviously, because I've already tested it and I've made sure it worked. The case itself is amazing. I've got the RGB lighting coming in still, so it'll be a day or so before I can get that going. And I hope your wife really enjoys it. Like, I mean, seriously, this is one of my favorite things to do, is to build PCs. If you ever need anything tech support wise, after I ship it to you, something messes up, I'm always there to help you fix it. So let me put my head around here so you can probably see me a little bit. But yeah, everybody, this is Miss Dahlia. I think that's how you pronounce it, right, Peter? Dahlia. I hope you enjoy your PC. On another note, thanks to my supporting wife over there that turned off her games and stuff, so I can do the stream. Always, again, please like, subscribe. Make sure you check out for new stuff, and we'll have new content like this going. I will be streaming on Twitch and then putting it on here as a reference. So we're going to try out a new platform and see if everything works out. But now it's going to be a long night for me doing cable management, guys. So awesome. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Deuces.